Happy Wednesday night. And the Cardinals haven't won in a month, by the way. That's why I'm wearing my Mizzou stuff instead. And we're up against Otani tonight. So not looking good. But we're here to talk Disney. We're going to be talking with Michelle. She's out in Baltimore. They have a good baseball team. How the fortunes have changed, because it should be not us in last place, but the Orioles. No, just kidding. We used to have the Orioles. They used to be the Browns. They used to be a St. Louis team. Do you know that?
I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
I know. We're
St.
a
Louis.
fan. So.
Yeah, St. Louis used to have two baseball teams. We had the St. Louis Cardinals and St. Louis Browns, and the Browns went to Baltimore and became the Orioles. But there you go, there's your baseball history. But no, the Orioles are having a great year. They're doing really well. But we're not talking baseball tonight, because that'll just make me super depressed right now. We're going to talk Run Disney. We're going to talk about the Spring Surprise Weekend and Michelle's trip down, and talking about running the races and minivans and staying at the Dolphin and El Molino. I went to El Molino for the first time too. Yeah, I got a story, so we'll talk about that too. So sit back and let's see here. Tweet, hit that. Now close Twitter so I don't get distracted. Twitter is the biggest distraction in the world, and here we go. Oh, mute my phone.
Oh, nope,
as soon as I don't mute my phone, Mallory will text with a request. 2282. All right, here we go. Welcome to episode 2282 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Monday to you. Hope you had a great weekend and you got Cinco de Mayo out of your system. All the Star Wars holidays, May the 4th, Revenge of the 5th. I don't even know what today's date is, but hopefully, hey, you can still watch Return of the Jedi. You can watch Empire Strikes Back. You can watch A New Hope. I don't care, but hey, hang with us, because we've got a great trip report to kick off this week. And today we have a very recent trip. We're going to be talking about staying over at the Dolphin. People ask about that sometimes, Swan and the Dolphin. And we're going to get a little Run Disney mixed in here too. So don't go anywhere if you're not a runner. I know sometimes people say, oh, Mike, enough with the running. It's not all going to be running, but there is going to be some. So stay tuned. We're going to have some fun. We're going to talk Disney. So we're headed out to Baltimore, Maryland today, and Michelle is on the line. Michelle, hey, how you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. How is spring on the East Coast out in Maryland?
It's more like winter right now. It's not cold again. I'm not feeling it. Not enjoying running in the rain. It's not great.
One word, treadmill.
Yeah, the treadmill.
Always 68 and flat as a pancake, and same amount of light, and always kind of boring in my storage room. But weather, can't argue with the weather. No hills.
It's fair.
But super boring. Anyway, so let's talk about your background with Disney, as we kind of do here on the show as we kick things off. So how do you find yourself listening to a Disney podcast? How did your Disney fandom start?
So I've been a Disney fan since I was probably like 4, is when I took my first trip with my mom, stayed in the Polynesian, did all of the things that you did when you were there, the luau. My family's just been a Disney family my entire life. So it's ingrained in me. And now I've brought my husband into all the Disneyness. He had never really been, except for like once when he was a kid. And I think since he's been married to me, he's now annual pass holder. He talks about how he misses Disney food sometimes. So now we're all in. We're all in, and just found your podcast. I want to say probably during COVID times, and got my hit of Disney.
I'm glad you found us. I mean, hate the circumstances, but I'm glad you're here.
Disney hit.
It was crazy times. We did a podcast every day for months and months, but we did to get through. But let me ask you this: so when you brought your husband kind of into this, because you were the big Disney fan, did you bring him in initially kind of kicking and screaming, or was that something that he was like, this looks kind of cool, let's go for it? Like, because sometimes there's kind of like a battle with the significant other, because usually there's one strong Disney fan and maybe the other one is like, it's a little crazy, I'm not into it.
I wouldn't say he was kicking and screaming, but I think that he just kind of had to like learn to enjoy it differently. His first Disney trip was traumatizing as a child. Dumbo was not working properly that day. And so he was in the Dumbo that wouldn't go up. And so he just kind of coasted at the bottom, and his parents wouldn't let him go on it again. So like he had some Disney trauma and we've fixed that over the years. So now we're in a good spot. But no, his first Disney trip, he was like, that was back in the days like when we would go hard, like park open to park close. And I think at the end he's like, I loved it, but I kind of hate you right now. And now we're chill. We're chill and we go to Disney. If we like lay at the pool and then go on 2 rides and have some dinner, we are set.
Oh, perfect. That's exactly how I like to do Disney too. And by the way, okay, that trauma is real because when I used to be a school teacher for 17 years, a few years back before I gave that up, I always thought I was going to write a children's book. And the title of my children's book was going to be The Teacher Who Didn't Like Apples. Because I don't like apples. And kids would always, I'm so old, the teachers still, or kids still brought me apples. I don't even know if kids know that like there's a connection between teachers and apples anymore. I doubt it because that's probably like a 1800s Little House on the Prairie reference at this point. But here's the thing, that's another children's book right there. The Dumbo elephant that would not fly, and then you write a whole traumatic, sad story about a sad day. This kid goes around the Magic Kingdom and everything goes wrong. But there's the title for your book. So I'm just telling you, there's your $1 million idea right there. Get on
I'm gonna write I'm
it.
gonna use that journalism degree right there and write that book.
That's it. That's it. I mean, it could be, but it's got to have some kind of a happy ending. I don't have a Mickey bar at the end. I don't know.
Reconciled. He did ride it again with his dad like a few years ago when they came with us to Disney, and so they're back in a good place together with it.
There's the ending to your story. Perfect. Okay. So let's talk about your trip, which obviously you took last month back in April for the Run Disney springtime surprise weekend. That was a mouthful. But before we get into that trip, obviously you got to be a runner to do this. How hardcore of a runner are you? Because that's what I like about Run Disney is you've got people that are super fast, people that are like, I always say the shorter the shorts, the faster they are, and kind of thing like that. And then, some people are just down there to have a good time. Some people are idiots and running hot dog costumes and just don't care. And almost,
No, I mean,
just saying.
on a scale of 1 to, like, 10 and hardcore runner-ish, I mean, I do work for a run company, so I feel like that puts me high on the scale.
Yes.
But my running actually started because of Run Disney. I wanted to do the Expedition Everest 5K years ago in its original iteration with, like, the real scavenger hunt and the whole thing. And like I had always run on as cross training, but never really like raced. And that got me hooked. And I was like, well, I want to run Disney races. And now here I am. That was probably 2012, I think, the
Mhm.
first time I did Expedition Everest. And now it's 2023 and we're in deep. But like for Disney races, I'm all about the costumes. I'm all about making sure I have a jumping across the finish line photo. I want to have fun, but like I did PR at the marathon and at the half marathon in January. So like there's a nice combo.
That's awesome because I'd imagine there's a competitive edge to you a little bit there working for a run company. And I mean, you mentioned PR. I mean, just if you ever have that in the back of your mind, slightly competitive, I get that
Mhm.
because that's me. When I'm down there, I love to have fun. Like I'll bust out the hot dog costume for a 5K, but I do like to, try to, I still consider it a race. This is my personal philosophy with these races in runs. They're still to me considered a race, and I always try to give my best effort. Now I am on the backside of 40. So I know that I'm not going to keep up with the 25-year-olds. They're going to smoke me out. Like my best days are past me, but I always want to give a good effort because it's still an athletic endeavor. But I know everybody's got their own philosophy. I've never stopped for a picture because I know my personality. I'm always like, if I stop, then it's just like a stream of Indy cars going past me, like, and that freaks me out. So, I get my pictures from the photo pass people during the races and have a good time. Just kind of watch everything as it goes by and enjoy the atmosphere. But what's kind of your overall philosophy with that? Are you do the costumes? So I'd imagine that if you do costumes, you probably stop for photo passes and
Uh,
kind of take it all in, or what do you do overall for these race weekends?
so I feel like I always go in with some sort of plan. Like I always have a costume, and whether it's like kind of abounding within my already like my running outfit. Like I dressed as Bo Peep for the half in January, but like I had a blue run skirt and a Bo Peep tank and like accessories that you knew I was Bo Peep, and my husband was the sheep. That was
You.
precious. Um, but like, so it kind of I make sure that I can actually run in whatever I'm wearing. And like for this springtime surprise, my original plan was to like chill on the 5K and the 10K and race the 10 miler.
Hmm.
I was in Corral A, so like I knew it was doable. And then the weather decided to not really cooperate in the way I wanted it to. And we had that lovely 92% humidity. And there is no training, regardless of how many miles you run, that can prepare you for that. And so when I saw that like the Galloway Pacers were taking down their paces, and I was like, I'm gonna go out and do what I can and not suffer. And I grabbed pictures on the 10 miler and 5K. I actually had one of my best 5K times and still stopped for pictures. I stopped for every single character on the 5K. I was dressed as the Pixar ball.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
and then yeah, so it kind of I go into it, but like I knew for January, I wanted to race that half. The weather was perfect. I wanted a PR. I knew that I could like I was in a great spot to do it. And if I was gonna get like that time, I could do it in Disney on that on and just have fun with it. So I stopped for characters, 5K, 10K, race the half. Hi Thor. Bye guy. Sorry.
Yeah. No, it's your dog's joining us, right? I love this.
Yeah.
So no, but it's one of those things, and I think as you progress through doing these Run Disney events, if you've been there, for a few weekends at least, you kind of understand that. Okay, this morning I feel like this, and more importantly, especially in Florida, the weather is going to cooperate where I can give a really good effort and get a decent time. And if you have a good crowd placement, because I went out to A as well this past week over springtime surprise, and that makes a huge difference if you're trying to see if you can try to get a PR or something like, or just run a decent time because you're not negotiating all the traffic out of a corral C or D, which there's nothing wrong with that, but it takes you a while to kind of get through if you're trying to really push yourself because it's just how things are. There's just more traffic, there's more congestion, that's just the physics of it. There's more people in front of you. And so that's a great thing to kind of think about, as you're sitting on the bus getting over to the thing. Like, am I going to go for it this morning, or am I just going to kind of dial back? Because you're right, that 10 miler morning, whew, that humidity was rough, and I just said forget it, and I tried to go, and about mile 7 I got punched right in the nose by that heat. Just like, dude, you're done. Those last 3 miles were a struggle bus.
Yeah, I was so thankful that I somehow synced up with one of the Galloway pace groups that and like stuck with them through like from 2 miles. And then I got distracted by Mike Wazowski and needed to have a picture. So, but though that like got me through those like mile 8 to 10, I was like, oh, we are hitting it hard here.
I thought about stopping with Mike because there was nobody there at the point when I went by. There was not a person in line for Mike, and I'm like, that'd be a cool picture, like Mike and Mike, and I'll label it Mike and Mike in the morning because it's super early. But then I'm like, dude, I'm so tired because like Mike, he was as you were going back into Epcot, so he was like at mile like 8 or something. I'm like, dude, don't even stop. Just get this thing, just be done. Like, just do. You don't even want this thing to last 30 seconds longer than it needs to. Like, you're miserable. Finish the race. That was. I just remember it's like I should stop. No, don't. Anyway, so let's take it back to the beginning. So you guys stayed at the Dolphin. So give us a quick review. How did that work out for a race weekend, and compare that to maybe some of your stays with the Disney owned hotels?
Yeah, so actually we stay Swan or Dolphin fairly regularly, I'd say, because we have status with Marriott, so that works out really nicely there. I love the location. Like you can't beat it. You're staying in a deluxe resort location. And I love, regardless if whether I'm staying Swan Dolphin or Boardwalk or Yacht and Beach, that's literally my favorite area on property to stay in. But the transportation was great in the morning. Same thing as all the other resorts. You go on out and the bus is a little bit down from where the normal bus picks you up. I made breakfast in the room every morning before I went out. I'm one of those people who like before I run, I need to be very well fed. Like I'm just
Mhm.
that person. And so we sent a toaster to the hotel.
Yeah, good idea.
So, and like ordered waffles and things like that to put in for breakfast. But it worked out really well. I love that whole resort area.
Yeah, I've stayed there, and it was the only thing I missed was like the whole like Disney. I'm just like a nerd. I like the Pop Century feel, but you're right. You can't beat the amenities. You can't beat the beds.
Yeah.
Beds are super comfortable over there, and the location is amazing. Now, so you went there with your husband and some friends, and
Mhm.
apparently your husband was on a scooter because he had an injury in the New York City half
Yeah.
or something like that. So how did that go traveling with your party and kind of getting the logistics of a group together for a Run Disney weekend?
So we went down. We were always planning to go down on Tuesday and just kind of have Tuesday, Wednesday, and part of Thursday to chill and like do whatever we wanted to do, ride Guardians. And then about 3 weeks prior to the race weekend, he got a stress fracture at another race and was on crutches. So obviously did not get to run this weekend. And we ended up renting him a scooter, which was an interesting experience because
I'm
we
sure.
never done that before. So there he is just rolling through all the parks on his scooter, which was hilarious watching him actually try to get onto the train in conservation station at Animal Kingdom. And like, because you have to back up the scooter to get on.
That'd
Uh,
be my worst nightmare.
we
Yeah, when everybody's watching.
literally, and like, we were definitely like laughing at him and not helping the situation at all. We were very like Waldorf and Statler.
Right.
Plus
Oh, yeah. I mean, if it's your significant other and it's like a temporary situation, right? I mean, you
yeah,
know that like he's gonna bounce back here shortly. This is gonna be like probably a one-time shot. Oh
yes.
yeah, enjoy that somebody can't back that sucker up.
Oh, yeah, no, it was so we ended up going down Tuesday, and our 2 other friends who joined us came down. One came down Thursday morning so that she could go to bib pickup with like do the expo, and the other one wasn't running. She was just along for the trip regardless, and came in Friday. Basically, met us at the pool on Friday afternoon. Every morning when we were done running, she's like, "Okay, guys, let's go. I'm ready for the parks," and we're like, stand by. We need to. You want us to shower. Um,
Yeah.
but so that worked out really well. Though I was basically in charge of all the planning. They're like, it is in your hands. You are the Disney expert. You tell us where to eat, when to go, where to go, what we're doing, and it is all on you.
Okay, so let's take it from Tuesday now. So you get there, you get it settled in at the Dolphin there, and you have some these days prior to the races because the races were Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 5K, 10K, half. You had to be there Thursday if you want to get your bibs and so forth. So really the events for the race weekend were Thursday through Sunday.
Mhm.
But you guys were there Tuesday, so you're there for a couple days to kind of just have fun as
Yeah.
vacationers off the top. So highlights from Tuesday, that first full day of basically a Disney vacation.
So highlights on Tuesday. We came in Tuesday afternoon. We grabbed some lunch at Dolphin. I love the hung out by the pool there for a little bit. I love that pool. Um, that morning I had gone on and gotten us a virtual queue for Guardians of the Galaxy. Hands down my favorite ride in all of Disney right now.
It's pretty
Um,
fun. I
it's
just wish I could take it, but it's fun. It is cool.
so great. Um, so before we went over to Guardians, we actually went to Rosa Mexicana that just opened up in Dolphin, um, and had some chips and guac and a margarita there. Walked over to Epcot, which was great to have a little bit of time between the chips and guac and margarita before riding Guardians. Um, and then actually went to dinner at Topolino's, which we'd had breakfast there, but we've never done dinner before. So we took the Skyliner, which I know everybody loves the Skyliner and I want to love it, but it is honestly my biggest fear. And so I get on there and I'm just like, I hate this.
Really?
Topolino's is worth it. I hate it, but Topolino's is worth it. Like, I can't even go on the Ferris wheel in Disneyland, the fun wheel. No.
See, I've never been on the Ferris wheel at Disneyland because okay, well, we just ran out of time. Actually, I could have ridden it again when I was there just a couple months ago. I just didn't. I didn't. I don't know why I didn't. But I'm not getting on the buckets that swirl or
Mm-mm.
I'm not doing that because I've just heard too many horror stories. But I would. I think I could ride the reg. I know I could ride the regular buckets. I need to do that. But what is it about I've heard a couple people say that. Is it the height thing or is it just that it's kind
No.
of like
I
it appears to be dangling like by one piece? Is
Yeah,
that it?
I don't like ski lifts. I don't like anything like that where I'm just dangling. Like roller coasters, love them. I will ride every ride except for Mission Space because I'm too old for Mission Space now.
I hear
But
you.
I can't, there's something about it, and when the wind picks up and then it like stops and starts at the
Yeah,
turnaround stations, I just
it does
and
swing.
my friends sit there and they laugh at me, and I'm just like, no, this is not for me. But
Yeah,
it's worth it to go to Topolino's.
there
So
you go. I can't say a word. I would not get on an airplane for decades. So and I finally will. And it was totally irrational. Now I love flying. Like, I mean, I think it's a great it's part of the vacation. But that's let me ask you real quick though about that Rosa Mexicana. I've never heard of that actually. And this is disturbing me that there's a Mexican location that I am unaware of. This is bothering me greatly. So
so
tell me about that real quick. It's just like a little canteen or something?
no, so okay, so Rosa Mexicana actually also has locations in New York and Washington, DC. So it's not like a chain per se. They're very limited. But it just opened in Dolphin. If you go past where like Fountain is, the ice cream
Mhm.
place,
Yeah, yeah.
um,
I eat a fountain
opened
all the
like
time.
3 days. I think it may have opened like the April 1st or April 2nd. So it was
Oh,
brand
man.
new. But like highly recommend. They have great. The bartenders are great. The drinks are fantastic. The food is great. We always like they have different kinds of guacamole, and we just hung out. It was super nice.
Very cool. Hey, and everybody pretend like we mentioned that on Friday's show about Cinco de Mayo, Rosa
Yes.
Mexicana, the dolphin. We mentioned it. You just didn't hear it. You just didn't hear it. Okay, so you guys went over to Topolino's. You saw the fireworks from the roof, which is a pretty cool view because I've had Topolino's dinner over there, and that was, I mean, it was Harmonious back then, but I loved Harmonious from the roof. It was beautiful. It was like I told Scott, it's almost like if God looked down at the fireworks, it's probably what it would look like.
Yeah, it was a great spot to see it in, and actually, we had made reservations. The only thing I could get was, like, 8:55 that night, and so we ended up going over early, figured worst case scenario, we grab a drink at Riva Bar and, like, then go up for our reservation, but we got there, and the bar at Topo, like, I think it was, like, around 7:30, empty, like and that's a great don't tell everybody this, but now everybody's gonna hear it.
Just between us.
Just between us, you don't need a reservation to sit at the bar. And chances are the bar is going to be empty and you can get the full menu, and it was great. So we had drinks and dinner and then brought like our drinks outside and hung out and watched the fireworks. They piped the music in the same way they do at California Grill for fireworks in Magic Kingdom. And then yeah, so that was fantastic. It was really nice
And
to do that.
and you solved the problem with the Skyliner going back. You caught a minivan.
Yes, minivan. I'm so happy minivans are back. Um, so if you do have a scooter or a wheelchair and you need a minivan, make sure you get the right minivan. Don't get the make sure there's an accessible one. Didn't know that till after they told me there's an accessible one. So they had to lift the scooter into the minivan, which they were great and they very generously helped us do that. So
Yeah, I think the minivan that's accessible actually is a van. I
yeah,
think it's like it's a van. It's, for real. But
yeah.
that's ironic. Okay, so the next day it looks like you guys had a super chill Wednesday, like kind of midday, because you're also a figure skating coach. So you did some coaching of some of your athletes down in Central Florida that happen to be training down there. And your husband got to hit the spa. How about that? He's got a hurt leg. I mean, why not lay it up and get a little treatment there? It sounds like.
Yeah, he went for, like, the beard trim, men's facially type of thing. He was very happy about it, though. He looked great. He was like, "It was so nice and relaxing." I was off teaching. I was in the cold ice rink, um, for a couple hours, and he did that, and it was lovely. He was sending me pictures. He's like, "Look how nice and glowing I look." I was like,
Yeah, my wife got me after my very first full marathon back in 2015. She got me for Christmas. She gave it to me at Christmas time. So she knew we'd be going down. 2 weeks later, a Swedish massage over at the Census Spa at the Grand Floridian. And I was a total fish out of water. I did not know what I was doing because I'm not a massage guy, but I knew I'd be sore. So I went over there and it's the same thing. Like I was sending her pictures, like I had on a robe, I had on slippers, and I'm in this, look like a Greek or Roman, I don't even know, just some fancy room. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm here. I just want my body to not hurt. I don't need all the fancy, but this is kind of cool. They're giving me like water with lemons in it and magazines and stuff. But I mean, you're on vacation. You gotta take care of yourself, I guess.
Why not? Yeah, he loved it. He loved it and then hung out well, he was gonna go to the pool and then it started raining, so we hung out, like, on the balcony of our room until I got back and perfectly timed with bringing up some Starbucks for him and, you know, then we went down to the pool for a bit.
Very nice. You wrapped up that night with dinner over at Steakhouse 71 and went to the Magic Kingdom, and you got to see, and I still haven't seen it. Because I was only there for the race weekend when I was there, and I could not stay out that late. I know it sounds bad, but early wake up calls, happily ever after. So, how was the meal? How was the night?
Steakhouse 71 was great, loved it. Again, sat at the bar, different bar menu, but we love their burgers are great, their onion rings are great, everything about it. Again, those bartenders are also fantastic. Um, but yeah, happily ever after. We were there the week it ended. and I was like saying my sad, sad goodbyes.
Mhm.
And I cried for the full, what is it, 26 and a half minutes that
A
happily ever
long
after
cry.
is. Like wearing my happily ever after shirt and I was a mess and like but so happy that it's back. I love Wishes. I love it, love it, love it. But there's just something that happily ever after, like it strikes a chord in me that I could be listening to the Disney station on satellite, and if they play happily ever after, I'm like blubbering and I need to pull over my car.
Right. I'm so glad that I feel that they listened on this, and I feel they listened with Harmonious going away and trying to come up with something better. That makes me feel like they're trying, because this is something I believe that hardcore fans really wanted to have back, and they gave us back. I think, casuals probably don't care one way or the other as long as they have a fireworks show, but I'm glad, because there's so many people that say exactly what you say. I'm kind of a Wishes guy, like for Magic Kingdom, just because that was my time when I first started going, like Wishes, Spectrum Magic kind of thing. But for Mallory, that's her show, and she loves that, and so I love it too. It's a great show, and I'm bummed I didn't see it, but I mean, I'm also a guy that I got to get sleep. There's no way I could have stayed out because I was only there for the race nights.
That's
So,
when we made sure we did it early because I was like, I have
oh,
to see it. And the projections on Main Street were really a nice addition. It's not overkill. It just enhances everything that was already there. So
all right, so let's buckle in for race activities. So Thursday, everybody goes to the expo, but you say in your notes expo times two. So tell me about that.
yeah, so our one friend who's coming in on Thursday got in later in the afternoon. So we went back to the expo with her. So we went there in the morning. Honestly, it was the chillest expo experience ever. I mean, I think anything compared to Marathon Weekend Expo is going to be chill.
Correct. Correct. It was way
So
chill
it
compared to Marathon.
was like great. We got there. I picked up my bibs, was like fingers crossed for Corral A, got my Corral A. I was so happy. We got some photos over there, went to get the race t-shirts and just walk around the main expo area for a bit. Got some stuff over there, saw Jeff Galloway, and then our time was called to go back for the virtual queue for the Disney merch. And we're walking in, and I'm expecting the whole line like you usually
Mhm.
are. There was no line. I was like, I feel like I should be standing. You know, like auxiliary room, they have you
Yeah, right.
standing.
I call it the cheer warm up room, because
Yeah.
during cheer comps, that's where they warm up before they hit the stage.
I
Yeah.
was like, I should stand in here for 20 minutes just for the heck of it because I feel like that's what I'm supposed to do.
No.
Um, but like
We'll
got
do that in January.
well, got everything we wanted. I actually am wearing my springtime surprise. Like I got the yellow socks, the little things on them.
Nice.
Got the jacket I had wanted to buy because it was purple and it had thumb holes. So I was like, all right, I need this jacket. Picked up some pins for people, and that was it. Did my mobile checkout and got some photos like with the numbers. And I will say that my crowning achievement from this weekend, forget anything else, I did not knock over any of the numbers, like where you can take photos. I knocked
Mhm.
over the 9 and 19.3 last year. I thought it would be a little more stable than it was. And I like leaned against it and like,
I hope somebody got a picture of
oh,
that.
oh, there is photos. There were cast members just like trying to hide, like laughing at me. So
No,
um,
they're asking for it at
yeah.
that
And then we went back. It was great. It was great. But yeah, so
Oh man, yeah. So yeah, by the time I got there, I think my expo or my virtual, because I just went in and out. I just want to get my stuff,
yeah.
but I went through the Run Disney official merchandise, and I think my virtual queue time was like 1. But by the time I got over there, they weren't even checking. They're like, just everybody can go in. We're not doing virtual queues anymore. Just walk in. It was nice. It was so nice. And honestly, I didn't buy anything. I bought a hat. No, I didn't buy a hat this time. I bought that in February. I don't think I bought anything. I just kind of cruised through and saw a little browsing and got out, because I was like, my wife kills. I have so many Run Disney shirts, like so many. So if I come home with extra shirts, she really does get fired up, because I came home with 4 more,
Yeah.
because I was doing the challenge. So there you go. All right. So you guys went to Blue Zoo for dinner that night. Again, we don't talk about that on this show very much. So give us a quick review of that.
It was great. The atmosphere is cool. The music is an interesting vibe in there. It's very like clubby music, but it's
Mhm.
really good food. And it was convenient because it was like in the hotel. We didn't want to have a late dinner since the 5K was the next morning. So we went there and then got ice cream at Fountain next door, and called it a night. So it was like, just very chill and relaxed. We were actually supposed to go to Olivia's originally, which I know was one of your
Yes,
favorites.
it is.
But like logistically getting over there with the scooter and the whole thing, we were just like, let's do Blue Zoo. We like it here. Let's do that.
Yeah, that I mean, seriously, over race weekend, just when you have proximity with like a dining location, that trumps all, really. I mean, we were staying at Riverside one time, we had boat rides and it was great, and plus, we could just walk right to our room after we were done. We didn't have to deal with transportation because we're like, we should go to Disney Springs. I mean, we could have taken a boat, but then it ended up pouring down rain and then we'd had to take a bus and just if you can eat at your hotel, and everywhere you eat at Walt Disney World is going to be good. I mean, it's gonna be probably as good at some or better than something at home. And I'm sure you guys kind of agree there. You got to have ice cream at the fountain. That's a great place to get ice cream. I always say, if you can't get in beaches and cream, that's a good option. They even have peanut butter and jelly shakes.
Yes. Yeah. I had because I should not have real ice cream. And so I made the good choice to have just like the dairy free kind, especially
Mhm.
knowing that like I had 3 days of running.
Yep.
And it was great. But my friends had peanut butter and they loved it. So
Yeah. It's real pink, but it's I don't care. It's super good. Because when I got it one time, I was like, "This is this peanut butter and jelly?" Like, yeah, it is. I'm like, yeah, it sure is. Tastes good. I got it on the 4th of July, actually. Okay, Friday. The 5K day is a weird day, especially if you run out at Corral A, right? Because if you go, in any kind of pace and you're at the front of the corrals, you get done rather quickly. You can get back to your room rather quickly, and you can still rope drop a theme park, even though you've already done a race, had a shower, and probably grabbed a quick breakfast if you're hustling, which is bizarre. So, how did you guys make this day happen?
So we were on the first bus over. I always like to be on the first bus, just makes me feel better. I was in Corral A, my friend was in Corral C. Um, so yeah, I mean, we got some photos ahead of time with the characters that were out. I think we got like Mater that day and whoever else was there. It's a blur in the morning. I'd have to like go look through my photos.
I
Um,
hear you.
I mean, we were done running, got more photos at the end, got a Joffrey's from the truck the at Epcot parking lot, was back on the bus and eating breakfast at Il Molino, not Il Molino, Trattoria El Forno. I don't know why I couldn't remember that. We had a 7:30 ADR, and we were 7:30. I was eating my avocado toast, so it worked out perfectly. Went back, showered, and basically rope dropped Animal Kingdom. Maybe we were at Animal Kingdom at like 8:45, 9 o'clock.
It's crazy though, because your whole internal clock is off that first day of the 5K, right? Because at 8:45, when you're rope dropping a theme park, it feels like it's noon because you've already done so much. You've already gotten up, gotten dressed, gotten hyped up for a race, run a whole race, got a medal, probably gone back, showered, already probably had breakfast, and here you are at a theme park. I mean, you've done half a day's worth of work already, and you're just now rope dropping a theme park. Most everybody else's day is just starting. It's a bizarre feeling on that 5K day.
It's bizarre, and, like, you're just hungry all the time. I'm like, "I need to eat again, and I need to eat again." Like, what should I be eating now? It's terrible, but it's great. I mean, it's worth it, so.
How was Animal Kingdom when you went over there? Was the crowds good? And any favorites that you guys always enjoy over there? Shows,
Yeah,
attractions?
the crowds are pretty decent. I will say we have a DAS pass, so that does always help a little bit. Um, but my friend who was with us had never been to Animal Kingdom, so everything was new there for her. So we made sure we hit like Everest, uh, Avatar. We didn't do any of the shows. We did like obviously we did Safari, we did Dinosaur, we had buffalo chicken chips at Trillo Bites. I feel like that's a must do for us. Um, did we miss anything in Animal Kingdom? No, went to Conservation Station. We pet the animals. So we hit all of the things. Um, yeah, and then we're back at the pool and just relaxing in the afternoon. So it was a good day. It was like very productive Animal Kingdom day.
That's how to do it too during race weekend. Go to the park, have a lot of fun, and then bounce out mid-afternoon and be like, okay, we're shutting it down.
Yeah,
We're gonna have a good, maybe some little pool time, dinner. I like the way you guys do ice cream every night. It looks like
every
I
night.
ain't tried. So do I. I went all the way from Pop Century over to the boardwalk to get ice cream, and I still have a stain on those shorts. I've washed them 4 times. By the way, Boardwalk chocolate chip ice cream does not come out of shorts. It does not. I've got a spot on my shorts and it will not come out. My wife's like, "Is this blood?" I'm like, "No, it's ice cream from the Boardwalk ice cream place."
I swear it's ice cream. Yeah, no.
Oh, horrible.
Dinner.
But so you guys went to dinner that night though at Ale and Compass. We
Mhm.
talked. Pam talks about this. She loves this place, and I love it too. So how was it for you guys over at the yacht club?
Love Ale and Compass. It's like someplace we always go actually, whether it's sitting in the Ale and Compass lounge or like at the actual restaurant. We always go there. They have great burgers. The Parker House rolls are delicious.
Oh yeah, they are.
Um, it was I love it there. We always go. Where do we always also go? Oh, and the buffalo cauliflower is great too. And then
Yeah,
it's right
yeah,
next
that-
to Beaches and Cream, so we clearly walked right over to Beaches and Cream, got some ice cream because we've already had 8 gazillion steps that day.
Oh
Um,
heck yeah. I
so
mean, so what'd you guys get over at beaches? Did you guys get like just a cone or did you get a shake or did you guys
um,
go all the way like to a No Way Jose? Did you go
no,
big
we just got like ice cream.
smart?
We kept it easy. Just got some
Yeah.
ice cream. Um, yeah. So
Okay. All right. Saturday 10K day. I like the 10K. I think that might be my favorite distance because it you get to run longer than the 5K. The 5K seems like you put in, like 2 hours of work to get out there for like 35 minutes or 45 minutes or whatever it takes you to finish an hour. At least the 10K seems like you're out there for a decent amount of time for all the effort you're putting in to get up at 2:30 in the morning. Once you get longer than that, it's just painful. So I like 10Ks. So how was it for you? And then you guys did a Magic Kingdom day behind that, but 10K day was this, we kind of talked about at the top of the show, but was it what you were expecting?
yeah, 10K day was great. It got a little toasty and humid that day. I think that's when it all started to kind of start rolling in. But 10K was great. My husband was able to come down and cheer for mile like 4 or 5 on the boardwalk. He was right there, so that was awesome. So for him to be able to just come right over from the Dolphin and cheer over there with some other friends from the American Cancer Society race team, so they were all over there cheering. And then yeah, it is. It's like again, got all my characters in. I think I skipped the only characters I skipped were the ones I already had from the day before. Um, but otherwise, got them all and had the great race. We were the pink sorority girls from Monsters University was our costume that day.
Nice. Good
Um,
costume.
so that was cute. Great photos. Got all my photo pass. I gotta get every photo. The photo pass photographers are the best photographers ever. So like they always make you look good no matter how terrible you feel at a race.
Some
So
most of the time. I always get a couple where I'm like, oh man, I look
oh
like I'm a running corpse.
yeah, like for the most part. But then we hop back on the bus. I think we were probably on one of the first buses back to the resort. And at like 6:59, I'm like, oh my God, gotta get Tron, gotta get Tron.
Right.
Having like literally, I was like, we have to stop walking because we were back at the resort starting to walk to the into the to order breakfast to bring back to the room. And I was like, stop, count me in, like give me the 10 seconds, give me the and we didn't get Tron on the what's it called? The virtual queue. So
Virtual queue. Yeah.
we made the executive decision. I was like, guys, I'm buying it. I don't care. It's 20 bucks. Like, and my friends were like, fine, do it, buy it. Like, we don't know when we're getting back here. And I wanted to go on it. And honestly, buying it was a great decision. It made me not feel stressed about having to try to get the 1 o'clock drop.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
So
That's peace of mind, right? I mean, it's kind of like travel insurance. Like, I might not need it, but at least once you buy it, you can have peace of mind for the 6 months before. Like it's buying you peace of mind. You might not use it, but at least you're not going to worry from now until November that something could happen.
no, I felt very calm about it. But yeah, then we went to I think we showered, grabbed some breakfast, walked over to the boardwalk to take the bus to Magic Kingdom since the Swan and Dolphin bus drops you off at the TTC and then you have to take the monorail. So we do that. Um, but yeah, hit everything in Magic Kingdom that day. Like I want to say maybe the one thing we didn't hit was the flying carpets of Aladdin, but
That's
otherwise,
okay. We'll allow that. It's a spinner. No,
yeah.
I'll tell you my thing with the virtual queue because this is the virtual queue in the run. Like I remember on Sunday, so I did it on Saturday as well. I
Yeah.
went to the Magic Kingdom and I had never been on Tron. So I was trying to get the virtual queue, but I was in A and I was waiting. I was like in the top 5 or 10 people to be like waiting for my bus, and they wouldn't let the buses leave until X amount of time. So I was first on the first bus to get back. I got back to Pop. And then I was like sitting there, it was like 6:38 or something. And I was in this pickle because I'm like, do I have time to take a shower before it was like, no, it was like 6:46 or something. I mean, it was like where I was like, I probably have time to get a shower, but like, do I want to like am I want to like tempt fate? I was like, yes, I do. Cause I don't want to just burn 14 minutes. Like time's money in the mornings at Disney. So I got in, took a shower. So I remember I was shaving cream on my face, and it was like 6:59. I'm like, oh no. So then I'm like, wipe it off my finger, like, oh, don't get it on my screen. And I actually got in the virtual queue that day.
Wow.
I know. So I got a free ride. I only did it once. You got to do it twice, it looks like, but it was a really thrilling ride. I enjoyed it a ton. I thought it was very, being a kid from the 80s myself, like, and somebody who saw the movie, like, I thought it was pretty sweet. It was a lot of fun. I mean,
I
it was short, but short's fine with me at my age, so I'm good.
Yeah, no, I thought it was awesome. I thought, well, I couldn't get into the light cycle thing. I was like having issues, and it was like a me thing. They were all laughing because I was like, why can I not get in this properly? And like this cast member was like, ma'am, you have to get in so we can push this down. I'm like, I can't figure out how to get in.
You got to grab the bars and tug them
I was
back.
like, so then we got it again for the 1:00. So for the first time we rode it, we were rows 2 and 3. And then we got it again for the 1:00 drop. I was like, I'm going to get it this time. We got it. And we asked to be in rows 1 and 2. So again, for some reason, I could not figure out how to get into the light cycle. Finally, I get myself in, whatever. Row 1, oh my goodness. It is a
I
different.
was in row 2. I wanted to be in 1, but I got busted with a fanny pack on, so I wasn't going to ask. So 2
No,
was
it
fine.
was awesome. It was so cool. It was so cool. So
It's a cool ride. I want everybody to get on it. It's okay. So you guys went to El Molino that night. So I went for the first time. Fancy Italian place.
yeah.
Very good food because Scott booked this one. We got busted though because you're not allowed to wear a hat in the dining room, which I didn't know, which I don't have a problem with. So we just took our hats off.
But who knew?
Here's Mike Roman without a hat. Everybody freaks out when they see me on social media without a hat on, which I get because I always wear a hat. But great food, and we had awesome wait staff. We had like 3 people waiting on our table, and they were all great. I mean, it reminded me of a cruise line experience. Like you just had people everywhere, like taking care of you. I liked it a lot. I was a fan of this place. So, what's your review?
I love it. It's like I feel like we always go before a half marathon when we're there, so it felt right to do it before the 10 miler. Get pizza, get some like good carbs in there, but the staff was great. It was a little cold in there. We were like freezing that night. I don't know. Maybe it was probably just that night, but otherwise everything is fantastic there.
Yeah.
I will say we did not have ice cream that night,
Oh,
but
man,
it's
I
okay.
did.
We had Rice Krispie treat. We had Mickey Mouse Rice Krispie treats. So
That works.
it was a
We'll allow that. We'll allow that. All right, 10 miler, the big dog for this weekend. You did the 10 miler. We talked about the humidity. We talked about the heat. We talked about the distance. After that, you guys went to Epcot. So how was Epcot? Because again, you're starting a little bit later because the race takes longer. You got more going. Let me ask you this too, real quick. So, what were your thoughts on the medals, the theme? Because it's kind of a toy Pixar theme. The shirts, the kind of overall thematic aspect of the weekend.
So I love Pixar. I love Toy Story. It's like probably one of my favorite Pixar films. So the fact that it was Pixar, I was super happy with. I knew immediately like what costumes I wanted to do as soon as they released it all. Love the medals. I love that like the door opens for the Monsters Inc. one. And, like
It's cute.
that one I love. And I love the challenge medal with the seagulls from
Mhm.
Nemo. I thought they were great.
Yeah.
Shirts. The shirts are the shirts. Like whatever. I throw them on when I go for a run. They make me happy.
Yeah.
Um,
I really, I mean, I like them a lot. I love this theme. Like I thought this theme was just fun, because I'm not a big movie person, but I have seen all these movies because I'm Toy Story is my favorite Disney movie. So I love that. I love Buzz and Woody. And then, of course I've seen Finding Nemo. Of course I've seen Cars, Monsters Inc. Loved that, so I liked it all. And the medals were I loved them. Like I thought they hit a home run on all the medals. The medals were great.
Yeah.
Now, what it has me longing for, because they did this so well, it was like a Muppets weekend. You know what I'm saying? Because think about the library of Muppets you could use for like four races, or like 3 races in a challenge. Like a stout, Waldorf, and it was stout. What's his guy's name? Waldorf and his
Yeah,
buddy.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, right there, boom. You have them as like a 2-course challenge or something, and come on,
Oh, I want
Eddie
like
Redmayne.
that's what I want is my challenge medal, Sam
Yeah.
Eagle.
Oh, I know. Tell me about it. He's right there looking at us right now. Yeah, that'd be cool. Okay, so how was Epcot though after the races?
Epcot was great. So Guardians of the Galaxy we got for our boarding group. I actually had somebody do it for me because I was nervous. Like I wasn't nervous that I was going to be done running. I knew I'd have enough time in terms of like my run, but I know that sometimes the cell service gets kind of wonky over there with everybody
Mhm.
on, and so I had it back up. I was like, I need you to do this for me. We were already back at the hotel, so I knew we were safe, but she got us the boarding passes. Um didn't realize it actually worked in our favor because we had planned to be there because Epcot usually opens at 9. We were planning to be there at like 8:30, 8:45 for like early time. Well, Epcot didn't open till 9:30 that morning because the race still, or didn't open till 10 that morning because the race still going through.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't
Hmm.
know that either. And we got there a little bit later than we had anticipated, but it actually worked out well because extra hour or whatever they call it, started at 9:30. So we got in line for Ratatouille, and then ended up getting offline for Ratatouille and going to Frozen Ever After because it just the line was already ridiculous, and we were like, we'll get back to it later. Um, rode Frozen Ever After, met Anna and Elsa afterwards because why not? Like there was no line, and then yeah, hit up some food booths, got some snacks for Flower and Garden. Um, we rode everything except Nemo and Mission Space because no, just no.
And those are 2 good ones. If you're gonna skip something, I mean, not not bad to skip. Do you wear your medals and get pictures like around the park,
Oh,
medals and stuff like that too?
absolutely. Wore the medals. Then like got a couple of really good pictures with them, and the medals get heavy after a while. I mean,
Yeah,
running
that
is
I know
hard.
they do.
Wearing the medal around the park is even harder. It like gets in your it's a lot. But yeah, wore the medals, took good pictures. Um, had a great time there. And then our friends left Sunday night actually because they had to go back to work on Monday. So
Yeah, I had to leave Sunday night too. I feel their pain. I was on a plane that afternoon. Yeah, it's tough. I do remember though that morning, the whole bus, everybody was trying to get a virtual queue that Sunday morning sitting on the bus, like when 7 o'clock. And I knew like I was not trying for because I don't do Guardians. So I was like, I was just sitting there kind of laughing at everybody because I knew some of the people on the bus just from other races. I've run so many races. I've known people.
yeah.
And there's 2 people on the bus that I, just acquaintance with from other races. And I was watching them. I was just like, I don't have to get these. And I was like, I can feel the tension in this place. They're like, shut up, Mike. Anyway, okay. So after that, though, you guys had dinner over at the Boathouse.
Yeah.
Since we were here with Pam. What'd you guys think?
So we love Boathouse. That's like another one we go to. Well, we've been going there a lot more often lately. Again, I love to sit at the bar at any restaurant. Like we had a reservation, but we were like, if we can get 2 seats at the bar, let's sit there. So our friends went back. We went to the hotel, changed, may have taken like a quick power nap because at that point,
Mhm.
fresh and hard. Um, went to Boathouse for dinner. It was great. Put our name down on Gideon's list before we went to have dinner.
Good call. Pro tip.
Yeah, yeah, put your name down. Had dinner, walked around, hit some of the stores. And then as we were getting ready to leave, we got called for Gideon's. So it worked out perfectly. Got cookies to bring home, got my peanut butter iced coffee, which was fantastic. And got back to the resort and just like crashed. Done.
You guys have been going like crazy. And you had one more day. You were still there on Monday, which it
Yeah.
looked like Monday you slept in and did a studios day before you guys headed back. But so give me a quick review because we're running a little short, but with studios, but you also got to eat a backyard barbecue, one of the newest places to explore and to dine over in Toy Story Land at the studios. So how was the day at the studios and in that new restaurant?
So we got to studios a little bit later. We didn't set an alarm that morning, slept in, which worked out because it was pouring anyways. So I was like, it's fine. I don't want to be in studios when it's pouring. Um, got to studios, did Tower of Terror, actually did Lightning McQueen's Racing Academy, which I'd never done before.
Yeah,
Um,
cute little show. Nobody knows it's down there.
and it was a great photo op for medals.
That's exactly right. I bet you it was very popular that
No,
weekend just because of the medal for the 5K.
nobody was there. So took photos and then rode Slinky Dog and then had dinner at Backyard Barbecue. It was fun. It was really good. The whole theming, I don't want to give spoilers because if you go, like you are gonna get excited for those things. But the food was great. The cast members were great. The one we had actually come over from some of the fine dining locations. Like he had been at Tiffin's, so they, they never put new staff in when they just open a restaurant up. So it was all these really experienced cast members. Yeah, the food was fantastic. And my husband's a stickler for barbecue. We have a smoker in our backyard, so like he's very much like I need my good barbecue. Closed out with a ride on Toy Story Midway Mania, and then head back to the hotel and off to MCO,
Back to Maryland.
back to reality.
That's how it goes. So, um, as we wrap this up, so the one thing this is so dumb. The reason I want to go to Backyard Barbecue, I want to use the big pencil.
Oh,
You guys get use a big pencil. I
oh,
know you don't want to get spoilers, but everybody's probably seen that picture on social media.
oh, I have a video of him like running with it, and he's like cracking up, and he's a lefty, so watching him try to maneuver the giant pencil was great.
See, if I was still teaching, I would figure out where they got those. And then when I loaned out a pencil to a kid who's eaten 26 pencils already this year and says,
Mhm.
Mr. Rallman, I don't have a pencil. That would be the pencil I'd loan them. And it would not fit out the door. So they can't steal my pencils when they leave. Give my pencil. It's too big. Anyway, so what do you have on the agenda? Like, what's your next trip? Do you have anything on the books? Do you have anything kind of just blue sky? What's up?
So we are already booked for January, for December to January. I'll be going back down in June to coach, but also hit some Disney while we're there. I'm very lucky that my students are also Disney people and pass holders, so we will just pop over into a park for a little bit. For the summer, we are looking at potentially doing Alaska on a Disney cruise.
Ooh, that's super
So,
nice. I've heard.
yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Well,
So
hey, and also, I got to tell you, because I know we talked before we start recording, you're going to run your first full marathon in
mhm.
New York City, and you're from New Jersey, so you're in that greater New York area. So I just want to wish you good luck because there's nothing like a full marathon, man. Changes your life, and just wish you the best. And I want to run that one myself someday, so I can't wait. And congratulations already on that.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, well, hey, thanks for coming on the show, and we'll have to do it again. And I'm glad you had a successful challenge weekend down for a springtime surprise. And thanks for sharing it all with us today.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me on. This was fun.
All righty. Don't forget our show today brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. Check us out over at themagicforless.com. We'd love to help you plan your next Walt Disney World, Disneyland, Disney Cruise Line, or Adventures by Disney trip. Again, swing by the site today over at themagicforless.com. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link when you shop online. That's one extra click that supports everything we do throughout the year. It's beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. And a sincere thank you to the patrons of the Be Our Guest Podcast. You make all these shows possible. We could not do this without you. And our patrons get that bonus show every week. It's called Mike in the Midwest. Come on over, join us. Patreon.com/Be Our Guest Podcast. We'll have the live show this Sunday night, 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central. It's you, me, and Scotty G. 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central. Give us a call. It's the open line on Facebook and YouTube. We'll see you Sunday night. And give me a follow on social media. Be Our Guest Mike, Instagram, and Twitter. I'd love to talk to you this week as well. All right, time to hop out of here and let you get on with your week. So for Michelle, I'm Mike, wishing you a great week. Make it awesome. So until we talk again on Wednesday, you guys stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you real soon. Sorry, I almost lost it. The Cardinals are winning 1-0. We hit a home run off Ohtani. I can't believe it.
Hey, it's all good.
Miracles do happen. Now, well, it won't last. I mean, this is how this goes this season. We're terrible, but we'll see. All right. Well, hey, Michelle, that's a great show, and that was awesome. I appreciate it.
Thank you. This was so fun. I'm glad we finally got this date going.
I know, finally. Now, next week, I'm talking to somebody from Australia. That's going to be all. And then the 2 weeks after that, another guest from Australia. And I don't even know what the time difference is. So I got to get working on that. Like, because I only have like a small window of time, and that could be like 3 o'clock in the morning, like on Thursday there. I don't even know. So I got to that's on my schedule for tomorrow to figure out what the difference is.
Oh, well, good luck.
I know. Tell me about it. This is way easier. All right. Well, hey, I'll see you down. If I don't see you before then, in January, that'll be fun. And good. If I don't talk to you, good luck in November.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right. Take care. See you later.